Twitter alerts, 8 plus amazing use cases plus easy tips. If you're trying to start any type of business or website or even just a Twitter page, you want to make sure you know when people are talking about you. Twitter alerts are the primary way to assist in that effort. You want to know when they're talking about things that might be related to you or interesting to your followers. But just how are you going to do it? With Twitter alerts, of course. And with the right system, you're going to be more than ready for anything you need. Let's start from the top. What are Twitter alerts? When you get an alert in general, it means that you're being notified that something is happening, right? You might have alerts set up so you know when someone comments on your Facebook posts or when your favorite store has a sale. When you set up Twitter alerts, it starts the same process. You'll be able to get alerts when someone messages you or comments on your post or tags you in any way. All of these types of alerts are going to help you know what your fans and followers are thinking about you. Okay, but if you get alerts from your Twitter account just for having an account, why would you need anything else? Well, the problem is that not everyone who is talking about you will tag you. Not everyone who is talking about your product or a problem that you could solve will even know to tag you. What do you do when that happens? You want to be able to respond and to be able to talk to them, but you don't want to be scrolling through hundreds and thousands, or more, tweets in order to find the ones that are relevant, right? With custom Twitter alerts, you get to decide what you want to get notifications from. You get to pick specific tags, keywords and hashtags. You can choose exactly what relates to your business or Twitter page, and then, from there, you get to decide when you want to receive your alerts. What's really great is that it's all based on what you want to see. You don't have to worry about getting alerts that aren't related to you or trying to scan through things entirely on your own. As long as you know how to use them properly, at least. When it comes to actually getting those alerts, you need to know how to do it, right? You need to know the systems that will help you. Luckily, one of the easiest ones that you can use at twilert.com. You'll be able to link your Twitter account and then set up everything that you want or need with your custom Twitter alerts. What's really great about this system is that you can slim down your results as much as you want. You get complete and utter control over what you want to see and what you don't. Twilert.com lets you choose the specifics that you want to search for, including specific keywords, hashtags and more. Even better, you also get to decide what things you don't want to include. So, if your primary keywords could also relate to something else, you might want to exclude some specific words or use specific context to get rid of content that's not relevant. With Twilert.com, you won't have a problem doing that because that's one of the additional stages within the system. It's going to make it a whole lot easier for you to give the level of engagement that you want. What helps even more is that you get the results in an email at your desired frequency, so you can get to everything. Now, if you're looking for a free method of doing this, you can always just use the tools that Twitter provides. Within the app itself, you can actually choose specific things that you want to search. You get to select the keywords or hashtags or anything else that you want to see in your search results, and then you get to choose the things that you want to exclude from those results as well. If you're willing to do all of the work in the moment and scroll through all of those results, you can get pretty far with this free option. On the other hand, you won't be able to walk away and come back to those lists like you can with Twilert.com. Twitter keyword alerts. Do you know why it's important that you keep track of specific keyword mentions on Twitter? The biggest reason is that you absolutely need to know who is talking about your product or something that your product could help. If you sell dog leashes, you want to know when people are talking about getting a new puppy, right? If you sell weights, you want to know when someone is starting a new fitness program. They're not necessarily going to tag you in their post, and in fact they probably don't even know you exist, but you still want to have the chance to talk to them. That's where these Twitter keyword alerts come in. Think about the hashtags that are most relevant to what you talk about, or specific words that people might use when they're talking about something similar to you. Those are the things that you want to be following. Those are the people you want to reach out to because you have a possible solution to whatever it is that they're going through or whatever it is they're looking for. So, how are you going to do it? Well, You're going to have to do a little bit of research and think about just what it is that your brand or your website or your product actually represents, and then you're going to need to put that in writing. First up, you need to know what you're actually doing. What are you selling? What are you providing? If you sell reusable water bottles but you talk about sustainability in general, then you could appeal to a larger audience than just those who are interested in reusable water bottles. If you sell math tutoring services but you talk about education and tips for how to study or learn better, you appeal to even more people as well. So know what it is that you have to offer. Create a list of hashtags or keywords that you use frequently. These are the things that you're already saying, and they are the way that people are already finding you. These are things that you should also be using in reverse. You don't just want everyone who searches the hashtag #CatMomLife to see your post. You also want to see who else is using the hashtag so you can talk to them and give them a better chance of seeing you. It works in both directions. So put those hashtags and keywords into a list that you can use as part of your search. Next, look for hashtags and keywords that are related to you but that you don't personally use. Maybe other people have different ways of talking about something than you do. Maybe someone else talks about letterboxes rather than mailboxes, or maybe they refer to hoagies rather than grinders or a spigot versus a faucet. You want to know what other words people are using to describe things, because those are other keywords that you should be looking at. Those are still people who might be interested in you, they just don't know it because you use different terms. Finally, think of things that are related to those words or keywords but don't have anything to do with your topic. Maybe you want to search grinders, but you want to make sure you don't end up with tools. So you might exclude posts that use the term grinders but also use terms that refer to tools. These exclusion lists are going to make it easier for you to find what you're looking for without going through all the time and energy of having to weed out things that aren't relevant. After all, you don't want to be looking at a whole lot of posts that have nothing to do with your topic. Now that you have your lists, you're ready to start putting them into your system. Whether you go with the free option and decide to do everything at once, right in the moment, or you go with twilert.com or another service like it that lets you store your searches and get email alerts, is up to you. This is the part where you're actually going to plug it all in and see what you get out of it. You want to make sure you can start improving your business, and this is the way you're going to get a jump start. Your final step is to actually do something with that information. When the Twitter alerts start coming in, you need to make sure you're getting on Twitter and responding to people. Start a conversation. Don't just try to sell them on your product out of nowhere. Make sure you talk to them first. Let them know you understand their concerns or offer up a tip that they could use. Look for ways that you can help them instead of just trying to sell to them, but most of all, make sure you're engaging in some way. When it comes to those Twitter email alerts, you want to make sure you're checking frequently. Set up the frequency of your alerts to come when you have time to do something about them. You want to make sure you don't wait too long, because Twitter is a super fast-moving platform. If you wait too long after you get those emails, you could have already missed the opportunity to make a comment. Sure, that person is still going to see it, but other people aren't going to see it, and you really want to get as much notice out of each comment, post or like as possible. Also, make sure that you're screening through the posts before you give a generic response. You're going to get the most engagement if you actually tailor your response to the specific person and their specific post. Don't just try to sell your product. Make sure you're giving them something useful. That's where Twitter alerts really win out for you. By giving information and not mentioning your product right off the bat, you're proving that you're in it for the right reasons and that you want to help other people. Making it alerts work automatically. When it comes down to it, Twitter alerts can make a huge difference in the way you use the platform. When you're just going in and trying to figure out what to do, or you're interacting with specific people you're already following, it's only going to give you a little bit of help. You need to be interacting with even more people so you can get your name and your information out there. The more people who know about you, the better chance of you getting the sales that you're looking for. Hopefully, following these steps is going to make it easier for you to set up your Twitter alerts and to make sure you're using the right platform. Before you know it, you could have more engagement than you've ever had before, and it all starts with you. It's up to you to start engaging with other people, But don't spend hours slogging through Twitter to find something you can relate to. Use the systems that are already in place and make sure that you're getting the information that you want delivered directly to your email inbox every single day. You'll be amazed how much things can change. Twitter Alerts has been widely used by a lot of people, the government, businesses, and other sectors towards raising awareness about specific content. These types of updates had brought a lot of benefits and great things to this modern society where it had impacted the lives of the whole of humanity positively. Here are the benefits of Twitter Alerts in varying aspects that might persuade you to open up your own account. Generating leads. This had been used by businesses to generate leads. New products or services are being advertised through queries that makes potential customers more updated. In this way, an increase in sales can be achieved. At Twilert, we even use our own tool to generate some leads by responding to influencers and people using our tool Effective Communication. Effective communication is needed in a business-customer interaction. These had been a way of communication between the business and its customers. Businesses had used basic notifications to update their customers about the availability of a certain product or service that they offer. Customer service. This topic had also helped a lot of businesses regarding customer service. Using monitoring tools had been easy for them to keep their customers updated and informed about certain information regarding the services or products that they offer. It also served as a platform for customer accommodation and services. Brand building. Businesses had used Twitter Alerts to raise awareness about their rising industry. Twilert made Twitter Alerts as a platform for their advertisement and promotional contents. In this way, they can have an effective and easier strategy of building their brand, not just in the local or national market but also to the worldwide market. Awareness. When an emergency or crisis such as natural disasters, food or water shortage, and other else is fast approaching towards a specific place, Twitter Alerts are used to raise awareness. The authority and government had been using Tweet Alert tools to spread awareness for the safety of people. Preparedness and Readiness. Tweet Alerts are considered a way of preparing and getting ready before an emergency or crisis took over a place. With timely updates and reminders about the upcoming emergency, people can have enough time for them to prepare and get ready with the things or supplies that they need while emergency or crisis is not yet over. We even have some customers at Twilert that use alerts to monitor for security risks in an area like so. Rescue operation. Twitter Alerts are made to provide timely reminders and alerts about a specific crisis or disaster. If there are damages, emergency, or isolation brought by the disaster or crisis, rescue operation can be offered quickly. In addition, potential help from other countries can be achieved through the worldwide dissemination of news and updates. For example, when typhoons had damaged a country or place severely, help and donations from the benevolent people and the government of other countries can be achieved. Information dissemination. In today's generation, where fake news is widely disseminated, people are getting confused and frustrated. Well, with Twitter Alerts, information dissemination had been more effective and reliable. Factual information about any event, people, or place can be globally disseminated through these types of items. These are only some of the benefits that Twitter Alerts can provide to the people. They are indeed an effective and efficient way of keeping this world a better place to live in.